This is an alternative meta team for Open Great League that I believe you will enjoy a lot, especially with all those competitive battles that I have till the end of this video. So stay tuned, you definitely do not want to miss those. We're having the Blueberry Dragonair up in front, which is looking pretty solid on its purified form, and yes trainers, you can always use a Shadow one if you feel like you have to, and sometimes I think it is gonna perform much better, especially under shields, much like this matchup that we have here with Lickitung up against us. Yeah, the Shadow one can definitely pull it through much easier. At the back we have Pelipper as our closer, and the safe switch of this team is gonna be Drapion. Unlike Dragonair, Drapion needs to be no matter what in its Shadow form, because Shadow Drapion is gonna perform much better, able to two-shot down a lot of meta key Pokemon, so definitely you want that Shadow on your Drapion, and I recommend going with Aqua Tail over that Sludge Bomb because of how spammy this Pokemon can be, and you can get some crucial shields along the way. So here comes now the Hurricane with a nuke over the Poliwrath. Let's get it trainers after we bait it once, and now we have the Weather Ball which is gonna connect on that Clodsire. At this point our Pelipper has already fulfilled its job, and now it's all up to our Drapion for the end game. See how Aqua Tail can help you? Well, yeah, look at that, absolutely wonderful. Needing only 4 of those poison sticks to get to a single charge attack is absolutely insane. Back to back to back on the Clodsire, right on the CMP on the final one, and we're gonna start off the video in a positive vibe. Into the next battle 9, we're having Bassodon up in front. This Pokemon is a complete game changer and a core breaker for our team, so we need to stay in there no matter what and get to those Aqua Tails right on time. So look at that, they're gonna reach here to the move, and we need to shield at least once. We need to get this Pokemon as low as possible and then try to finish it off either with our Dragonair if we manage to get a shield in the process, or with our backline if this is gonna get extremely close. Another Aqua Tail is coming up from our side to theirs, and since they are gonna block here, I believe I will block in return as well. Let's see how this is gonna unfold. Yeah, I'm just gonna block because I want that Bassodon out of the way as soon as possible. Now my opponent is gonna switch in there with the Wigglytuff, and seeing the Wigglytuff coming in that easy as a safe switch makes me think that at the back they should be having something like a Shadow Victory Bell. Aqua Tail is almost gonna take out that Wigglytuff. Now we have another Aqua Tail to finish off the Bassodon if it returns, or just do some cheap damage on that Victory Bell. And that cheap damage was absolutely clutch, because now they're definitely on the Weather Ball range, which is not very effective but still enough to finish off that Victory Bell, and of course Bassodon right after. Let's get that victory trainers, absolutely wonderful. And now let's move forward into the next one with a Whiscash up in front. This Pokemon is kinda troublesome for our Dragonair, but if you have a Shadow Dragonair here, you can excel much more with those Draco Breaths being Shadow, and of course it's gonna help you much more. But as you can see over here, the regular Dragonair with pretty good IVs can still survive a double Mud Bomb, which is pretty crucial as well. So it's all up to you, but I recommend going with the Shadow if you have one. So anyways, now they end up catching the Body Slam on that Skarmory. Things aren't looking that great, but we managed to get the debuff on their end. This means now that Drapion might actually have the upper hand, and I'm just gonna get here to the overfarm, and I'm gonna throw my Crunch just before they reach to their Sky Attack. They want to block, and right after we have one more Crunch, which is super crucial at this point. Able to apply the debuff for the second time, this is absolutely awesome, and now we can easily go down to the Sky Attack. They undercharged there because that was a CMP, and most probably they did not want to throw anyways. I go for a weird switch in here to my Dragonair. I thought I had the move ready to go, but I cannot get there quite on time, and this is kind of a big bummer. Doesn't matter, with all those debuffs we can now farm down with Pelipper, have the Hurricane ready to go for the Whiscash. Down it goes, and the Grass type at the back. Let's get it trainers, with another Hurricane coming back to back, one for the Whiscash, one for the Trevenant. What a great victory that is, and of course Pelipper will emerge as an amazing amazing closer. A lot of the times I was having a lantern at the back, so obviously we can understand that Pelipper is not gonna perform that well against that Pokemon, but the other two can definitely protect your Pelipper from electric Pokemon, which is absolutely great, especially that Dragonair up in front. So with that in mind, now let's move forward into the next one, as we're having on the switch in a Sableye, and of course we can push a lot here with that final crunch. They're kind of obliged in using their final shield if they want to have the upper hand with the switch advantage, and in the process you can already understand that we are gonna keep our Pelipper as our endgame closer. So here comes now another foul play, just gonna let it go through. We know that their lead Pokemon is kind of a wall to our Dragonair being a fairy type, and now let's see how they want to respond to my Pelipper, because we're having two shields and they have zero. It is gonna be the Azumarill coming in, play rough on the shield, and now we want to go for the Hurricane before they switch out. So we're just gonna throw it during the animation of Bubble, which means that they cannot switch out in between, and we kinda can safely go for that extra nuke. And now we're gonna reach to another Hurricane. Down goes Azumarill, absolutely wonderful. At the back they have a Trevenant. We want to reach to the Hurricane, but unfortunately for us we are gonna fall short to the move, because they can win the CMP and Seed Bomb is gonna be fired off first. What a great loss that was. Well played to my opponent, totally calculated. So into the next battle now, we managed to catch the Body Slam on the Drapion. The reason I do this is because most of the times Drapion is gonna be used as a punching bag for this team, even though it doesn't have quite the bulk, but still it can provide a lot of pressure with its moves. So at this point my opponent was absolutely taking the crunch, and I was like, you know what, I can farm you down after the debuff, so why not do it? So here comes now the Aqua Tail for a little bit of extra damage on that fire type, and one more to finish off the first shield of their own. They have to shield, right? They got the Talonflame, so this is why you need Aqua Tail on your Drapion. It becomes an even spammier boss out there. So they also have to block my Aqua Tail coming up from my Dragonair, as you can see, and of course right after they will switch out. So at this point I'm going to do some cheap damage on their end, but it ends up being on the CMP, which means that after this Body Slam we're gonna be in a pickle. Of course I will charge up back to that Body Slam, gonna throw it and then switch out to my Pelipper, because I know that I can easily farm here, and of course with that Talonflame remaining at the back we can absolutely grab the victory eventually. So here comes now up next a Bastiodon up in front. Once again this Pokemon is a complete core breaker to my team. They can easily win the battle with my Dragonair, have a positive win against my Drapion, and of course with shields can absolutely farm down anything that we have out of our Pelipper. But it doesn't matter, because in the long term of those battles you're gonna see that under shielding, especially those Aqua Tails, those Weather Balls are still gonna come up clutch against that Bastiodon. So this Bastiodon though is gonna reach the second move before we can reach to that final Aqua Tail, which is kind of a bummer for us, and at this point we're just gonna overfarm a lot and then throw the crunch on that Wigglytuff. I'm expecting the shield because most of those Drapions out there are running something like a Sludge move version, so instead we can throw the crunch and then take the second shield with our Drapion. This is looking absolutely wonderful. A final Aqua Tail to bring that Wigglytuff super low, and now by blocking here we can expect the unexpected, and of course it is gonna be most probably something like a Victory Bell at the back. So here comes now Bastiodon trying to catch now with a Weather Ball on their Grass type. This is not gonna happen, and Hurricane will connect for massive damage on their end. And see that overfarm that I did, that was on purpose, because now we're having the Weather Ball ready to go for the Bastiodon. And now let's move forward into the final one. Whiskas up in front. This Pokemon is an absolute nightmare for my spammy team, because it is even spammier and can win some CMPs, I believe, on the Drapion. I'm not sure about that. I have to look it up. Anyways, Dragonair now with the Aqua Tail on the Skarmory, which is another Pokemon that I am afraid of with this team. But still, as you can see, even the worst possible lead or opponent is still gonna be left out of choices with a little bit of synergy. So we're just gonna use our Drapion here once again as a punching bag, while we can still reach to the crunch and finish off Skarmory. I'm expecting the Whiskas to return, to be fair, and try to farm down, but another crunch is imminent for massive damage. They need to block, I believe, at this point. No, they will not. A lot of damage on their end, and as it seems, they will rely on the Charizard, which is at the back with the 2 seals. However, we have the typing advantage here, and of course, those water moves are gonna be kinda clutch on that seal gain. Of course, they can always finish me off with a simple Dragon Claw if we are not careful, so we need to respect the damage in return, but we're slightly ahead on the energy gain, and we're gonna take complete advantage of that. So here comes now the final Weather Ball to put the nail in the coffin of that Charizard. Down it goes, and now Whiskas has nothing to throw, especially when we have Dragonair around, and Pelipper will just return into the battle to make them forfeit, I believe, this battle. Let's see how this is gonna end, but still, no matter what, we can grab this victory to end this video in a positive tone. That is gonna be all for today, trainers. Thank you for watching and for staying till the end. Just be sure, as usual, to leave a huge like before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you are new to my content, and over here I have 2 videos that might be of interest to you. Feel free to check them out, and I will catch you up later into the next one.